I'm sure you've heard it.
Don't rent, you're wasting your money.
It's one of those age-old sayings that keeps repeating itself over and over again. But is that good advice for everyone, or even good at all? Well, let's explore the renting versus buying a home debate and discuss some pros and cons along the way. Oh, for this video, I have the pleasure of doing a video collab with my friend Justine Nelson over at Debt Free Millennials. I admire Justine's mission to help everyone live debt-free and payment-free so they can enjoy more of today. Do me a favor, after you watch this video, check out Justine's channel as she discusses the same topic of renting versus buying in her hometown of San Diego. Her channel link is in the description below. And if you like what you hear over there, give her the YouTube triple thanks. That's hitting the like button, subscribing to her channel, and then commenting on the video as well. And if you like what you hear in this video, maybe do the same thing. That'd be great. Okay, now let's jump into pros and cons of renting versus buying a home. Pro number one of renting versus buying a home: flexibility. Home ownership can be great, but renting gives you flexibility. You have the ability to change where you live after your lease is up. You can even change what type of housing you have, or change the city, state, or country you live in. Homeowners, they can't say the same thing for sure. When you get that mortgage, pay all those closing costs and fees, and then you want to sell a year or two when you get bored of where you live, that's not only cumbersome, but it's cost prohibitive as well. Con number one of renting versus buying a home: your housing is not your asset, it's your landlord's. When you rent, you're giving money to your landlord each month. While there's nothing wrong with that, it can be a con if you're looking to grow your wealth and your net worth. The price of homes has grown immensely recently. U.S. News and World Report recently called the growth stratospheric, with home prices rising at an annual rate of 19.8% this year. For homeowners, they're dancing in the streets as they see their net worth and home equity grow. But first-time home buyers and renters aren't dancing so much at all with this news. So yeah, this could be a big con for some. Pro number two of renting versus buying a home: less maintenance and more chill. I've been a homeowner for 17 years now, and I'll tell you, I wish I was a renter sometimes. The amount of home maintenance and repairs I've had to do over that time frame has been insane. I'm already longing for the day where I can become a renter again so I don't have to cut my lawn, edge my lawn, weed my lawn, treat my lawn. Do you see how annoying the lawn can be? You get my drift. Trim my trees, repair or replace broken appliances in my house, replace my cracking driveway, save up thousands of dollars to replace my roof, paint my house. Okay, I could go on and on for days, but I'll just stop now. My point is, all that home equity, all that net worth growth comes with work. Homeownership is a job. And if you don't want another job, then you should think twice about home ownership. With renting, at least how I remember it, something breaks, I call my landlord, and he takes care of it. There's either no lawn to cut, or it's taken care of by the landlord as well. Renting feels more relaxing to me. Con number two of renting versus buying: rent can increase while a mortgage can be fixed. According to CNBC, the national median rent has increased by 11.4% so far in 2021, compared with just 3.3% for the first 6 months of 2017, 2018, and 2019. Unless you're in a rent-controlled housing situation, this can spell trouble for people who are looking to make ends meet and haven't seen their incomes increase anywhere near that amount year over year. One point for home ownership is that mortgage rates are crazy low right now. And if you get a fixed rate mortgage, which my favorite is a 15-year mortgage, by the way, so it can be eliminated from your life a lot faster. Anyway, I digress. You're gonna have the same payment for 15 years, the same payment. Now, depending on where you live, your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance can and will increase over time, so your overall mortgage payment will increase as well, but potentially not as much as your overall rent. So based on what I'm breaking down so far, homeownership provides more stability and renting provides you with more flexibility. Pro number three of renting versus buying a home: you don't need to save for a home down payment. If you need a place to live, renting helps you find housing more quickly. While you don't need a down payment, You may need a security deposit of 1 to 2 months rent. For home ownership, traditional advice says a 20% down payment is a smart move when you're buying a home. For the average home buyer in America today, that would be around $60,000 for their $300,000 home. That's average. Now, all my friends in California are probably laughing right now with this $300,000 home, as the average price in their state, according to Zillow, is closer to $700,000. But I digress. And don't worry if the traditional advice of 20% is too difficult to swallow. It is for most Americans. According to smartasset.com, of the US buyers who took out a mortgage recently, 55% made a down payment worth 6% or less of their home value. So if you're gonna go for 6% for that home down payment and your home is around $300,000, that's 18 grand instead of 30 grand. And for our California buddies, it's closer to 42 grand instead of $140,000 at the 20% level. So when comparing this to the average apartment rent in the US, you're closer to $1,100 per month. So that 2-month security deposit would be $2,200 versus an $18,000 home down payment. Renting is clearly the winner with this debate here. Con number 3 of renting versus buying a home. Ownership is a better long-term investment. Just like stocks and other assets, the longer you hold your home, the more wealth you'll create. Even over the last 5 years, the median home price in the US has increased by $100,000. And I can attest to this. Living in Michigan, not California, we bought our home for $350,000 in 2013, and 8 years later, it's valued at over $500,000. That's a $150,000 increase in 8 years. And since we paid off our mortgage a few years ago, we now own our home outright. No mortgage principal payment, no interest. Yes, we still have to pay taxes and insurance, but I'm working on a plan for that as well. So in comparison to renting, statistically, home ownership does help you build wealth faster. Around 40% of our net worth is the value of our home.
In fact, we'll take a little peek at it right now just to show you where we were last summer. We had a value of $538,000 for our home, which we own outright now. So yeah, about 40% of our net worth is in our home. The other 60% is in retirement, investments, some cash, a micro bit of alternatives with cryptocurrency, which is funny, and then our cars. So that's what's up for our net worth.
Now, that's not very liquid, but I really don't care. We've got jobs we enjoy and enough investments to take care of our retirement needs 20 or 25 years from now. Our paid off house brings us pride, and it helps us rest easy as a solid long-term investment that will more than likely grow to around $800,000 or $1 million by the time we retire. And at that point, we may just sell it and become renters, so we don't have to worry about cutting the lawn anymore. I hate that lawn. I hate it. So is renting or buying a home the best way to go? Well, honestly, that decision is up to you, and it all depends on your stage and season in life. When I was in my early 20s, I desperately wished I didn't buy my home. I felt trapped. I had a mortgage and home ownership costs that ate up the majority of my income, and home ownership duties that took up most of my free time. It sucked. During my single years in my 20s, all I wanted was freedom, and home ownership was the exact opposite of that. Even when I was ready to sell, the housing market tanked in Metro Detroit, and my home value was less than what I owed. It was a $140,000 house with a $180,000 mortgage on it. But when I got married, and we started having kids, and when I actually cared about what school district my kids were in, I wanted to be a homeowner. I wanted to have a place for my kids to call home for good. And maybe when my kids are grown and gone, I'll want to be a renter again. It all depends on your season or your stage in life. So I guess the question we need to ask ourselves is, what season of life am I in right now? If you'd like to hear another perspective on this rent versus buy debate, again, head over to my friend Justine Nelson's channel called Debt Free Millennials. Her channel link and video is in the description below. Justine's California perspective might be refreshing if you live in a high cost of living area like she does. But enough from me, everyone. I would love to hear from you. What do you think about this rent versus buying a home debate? What are the pros and cons in your eyes? Please let me know in the comments below. This is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, signing off. Carpe diem.